Every 8 seconds, a man over 50 loses strength, not in his muscles, but in his system. You still look solid in the mirror, but inside, something's slipping. Your hips tighten, your breath shortens, blood flow slows, and before you know it, what once felt automatic now takes effort. Here's the truth. No one tells you. You're not falling apart because of age. You're falling apart because your foundation has shut down. The deep muscles that control your spine, your blood, and yes, your confidence down there. But the fix isn't pills, machines, or long gym hours. It's one ancient movement, simple, grounded, and powerful enough to reactivate your entire body. I'm Dr. Helen Carter, men's health and performance coach, and today I'll show you how to turn everything back on from the ground up. This is where everything begins, the stance that built warriors, monks, and men who never lost control of their own bodies. The horse stance looks simple, but when you do it right, it switches your entire system back on. Stand tall, feet slightly wider than shoulder width, toes turned gently outward, not too much, just enough to open your hips. Now bend your knees slowly until your thighs feel the weight of your body. Keep your spine tall, chest open, eyes forward. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 2, and exhale through your mouth for 6. Stay here, let your legs tremble. That shaking isn't weakness, it's your nervous system waking up. Scientifically, this stance activates the muscles that most men over 50 stop using, the adductors, glutes, and pelvic floor. When these deep stabilizers go dormant, your posture collapses, your blood flow weakens, and your testosterone production drops. But when you hold this stance, pressure builds in the lower body. That pressure drives oxygen-rich blood back toward your pelvic region, recharging circulation where it matters most. The key is in stillness. Don't bounce, don't force, just breathe and hold. Each breath sends a signal through your spine, a reminder that strength isn't in movement, it's in control. You might feel heat rising through your legs, maybe even a pulse deep inside your hips. That's your body relearning how to move energy upward instead of leaking it, because the male body doesn't lose energy. It just forgets how to hold it. And the horse stance teaches that containment again. Most men make 3 mistakes here. They turn their knees too far out, collapsing the arch of the foot. They hunch their shoulders, cutting off their breath. Or they hold their breath, thinking it will make them stronger, when in fact it locks their diaphragm and blocks blood flow. Breathe evenly, keep your spine vertical like a tree trunk rooted in the ground. Let your weight sink through your feet, but your crown stay light. This contrast, grounded below, lifted above, is where power lives. Hold the stance for 20 to 30 seconds when you start, then build up to 1 full minute, maybe even 2. When you finish, don't stand up too fast. Straighten slowly, feeling the blood rise through your legs and into your core. That moment, when your heart, breath, and hips move as one, is your body sinking again. Men who practice this daily report the same thing. Better posture, deeper breathing, more energy where it counts. Because the horse stance doesn't just train your legs, it restores your entire foundation, the base of every movement, every emotion, every erection. Now that your body's roots are awake, it's time to open the system even deeper, into the movement that resets blood flow and balance completely. Looks like a simple rest position, but in truth, it's a complete system reboot. Start with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Turn your toes outward about 15 degrees. Lower yourself down slowly, keeping your heels on the ground. Your spine stays tall, chest open, and arms resting lightly in front of you for balance. Once you're settled, take a slow breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale through your mouth for 6. Stay here. You may feel pressure in your hips, your lower back, even behind your knees. That's normal. That's your body remembering a posture it once knew well. See, when we sit in chairs for decades, the hips stiffen, the glutes weaken, and circulation through the pelvic region collapses. The deep squat reverses that shutdown. It stretches the hip flexors, decompresses the lower spine, and activates the pelvic diaphragm, the muscular floor that supports blood flow, hormone function, and even erectile control. From a scientific view, holding this position increases venous return, the movement of blood back toward the heart, and improves oxygen exchange in the lower body. That means fresher blood reaches the muscles, organs, and the reproductive system. The more freely your blood moves, the more efficiently your body produces testosterone. It's not magic, it's mechanics. You're simply restoring the natural pathways that modern sitting destroyed. But here's where most men get it wrong. They let their heels lift, putting all the pressure on their knees. They drop their chest forward, collapsing the spine and cutting off breath. Or they squat too low, letting the hips sink without active tension, turning the reset into strain. The correct way is to balance. Your heels stay grounded. Your spine stays vertical. Your breath stays deep and rhythmic. When you exhale, let the hips relax, but never lose your posture. When you inhale, feel your core expand gently against your thighs. You'll notice after 20 seconds, your ankles, knees, and hips begin to release. After 30, the warmth builds through your lower abdomen. After 60, your body feels heavier and lighter at once because tension has drained out of the muscles and blood is finally flowing freely again. This is the position of regeneration. In cultures where men can rest in a deep squat well into old age, you rarely see stiffness, weakness, or loss of performance. Their hips stay open, their spine stays mobile, their systems stay young. Start with 30 seconds, 2 sets a day. Then work up to 1 minute. With each hold, you'll feel less resistance, physically and mentally. Because the squat doesn't just rebuild muscle, it rebuilds trust between your body and mind. Stay here, one last breath. Then rise slowly, vertebra by vertebra. When you stand tall again, you'll feel your circulation humming, your energy centered, and your control unmistakably yours again. Now, with your hips open and your blood flow restored, there's one final step, a movement that frees what's been trapped for years and completes the connection. Now we move to the final step, the one that frees everything you've just awakened. The frog stretch looks calm from the outside, but inside, it's the most powerful release a man can experience. Start on your hands and knees. Slowly slide your knees outward, as wide as you comfortably can. Keep your ankles in line with your knees, and let your toes point slightly outward. Lower down onto your forearms, keeping your spine long and your chest open. Now, take a slow breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, and exhale through your mouth for 6. Do not force the movement. Let gravity do the work. Within 10 seconds, you'll feel a deep stretch along your inner thighs, your groin, and into the base of your pelvis. That's where most men hold years of hidden tension, emotional, physical, and hormonal. When these tissues tighten, blood flow slows, nerve signals weaken, and performance fades. But when you open them, everything reconnects. Physiologically, the frog stretch releases the adductor muscles and the pelvic fascia, layers of connective tissue that wrap around your reproductive and urinary systems. As those layers relax, circulation improves, nutrient exchange increases, and nerve conductivity becomes sharper. This means better sensitivity, stronger control, and deeper awareness down there. It also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for recovery, arousal, and calm focus. That's why men often feel both relaxed and charged after this stretch, like the body and mind finally agree again. Now, breathe. Stay in the position for 30 to 45 seconds. With each exhale, imagine tension melting from your hips into the floor. You might notice a pulse, subtle, warm, rhythmic. That's blood returning where it belongs. Be careful of the common mistakes. Don't push the knees too wide too soon. You'll strain the ligaments. Don't arch your back. It disconnects the hips from the core. And never hold your breath. Your breath is the bridge that lets energy move. When you're ready to exit, draw your knees back together slowly. Sit upright for a few moments. Notice the stillness, the calm, the quiet heat spreading across your lower belly. That's not just flexibility. It's circulation. It's release. It's reconnection. Because the frog stretch doesn't just open your hips. It reopens communication between your brain, your breath, and your body. When that line is clear, strength, confidence, and control return naturally. Now, as you rise, feel how your body stands differently, lighter, taller, more grounded. You've reset your foundation, and in just a few minutes, you've given your entire system and your masculinity the signal to come fully alive again. Your strength was never lost. It was simply locked beneath tight hips, shallow breath, and years of stillness. But today, you've switched everything back on. From the stance that grounds your power, to the squat that restores your circulation, to the stretch that frees your deepest tension. These 3 movements rebuild what time tried to take: blood flow, posture, and confidence. They remind your body how to move like a man again, stable, open, and fully alive. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Commit to it for 1 week. Then come back here and tell me what changed first: your energy, your control, or that quiet confidence down there. I'm Dr. Helen Carter, and this is how you rebuild your entire system from the ground up.